Today we are going to talk about how to evaluate functions from multiple representations. You should recall from the last couple of days that you've seen functions represented in several different ways, and you were able to determine if they represent a function or not. Today we are going to evaluate things that are actually functions from its different representation. We evaluate using something called functional notation. Any equation that is a function may be represented using functional notation. The notation is this symbol here, which is read as f of x, which represents the variable y. So today, f of x is going to be replacing y. We're going to evaluate from all of the representations: ordered pairs, tables, mappings, graphs, and equations. We're going to start with evaluating from ordered pairs. Here we have a set of ordered pairs. We know that each ordered pair has an x and a y coordinate, but today we're going to be taking out y and replacing it with f of x. A question for evaluating will look like this. Find f of 4. What does this mean? Well, we see that the 4 is inside the parentheses, and that is typically where the x would be. So that means that 4 represents x. So I'm going to look at my ordered pairs and see where is x equal to 4. I can see that in the second pair, there is an x that is 4. So that is a pair that I want to look at. So the question is asking me, when x is 4, what is y? Well, y would be 5 because 4 and 5 are paired together. You try the second. What would be f of 3? Very good. F of 3 would be 5. Again, according to the order pairs, if I put in 3, I will get out 5. Think back to our vending machine. We put in an x value, we get out a y value. If we take a look at the last example on this slide, it says find x when f of x is equal to 1. So we're reminded that f of x is y, so this is telling us to look for where the y is equal to 1. In my set, I notice that in the first pair, y is equal to 1, and when this happens, x is equal to 0. So this is how you would evaluate from a set of ordered pairs. Now we're going to evaluate from a table. Again, we see that x and y values are being paired together. We want to find the following. F of 8. We have to decide for the 8, should we look in the x column or the y column? The x column. Remember, the values inside the parentheses represent your x. So we look at our table, when x is 8, y is 0. So f of 8 is equal to 0. Next, we want to find x when f of x equals 2. We are reminded that f of x is replacing y, so this means that we are looking for 2 in the y column. If we locate 2 in the y column, we'll see that it is paired with 5 as the x value. So x is equal to 5. Try the last two and see if your answers match mine. If you said f of 3 equals negative 5, great job. And in the last slide, you should hopefully have arrived at x is either 1 and x is 8. If we look at 0 in the y column, you'll see that it is there twice. So that means that there are two x values that have the same y value. So here, x will be equal to 1 and x is equal to 8.